Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is another edition of our Rich Reflections sessions where we're going to take about 30 to 50 minutes out of our day to simply just think more intentionally about our own life. And through this, even though it's something small, it helps us step back a little bit so we can gain a little bit more clarity in the overall direction we want to go so that we can really go after it with full velocity. So we'll start this session how we do every session, and that's 5 minutes of breathing. I'll set a timer here for 5 minutes. Begin. And all we're going to do is just sit, be still, and just breathe. You don't have to think about anything. If you do, just let these thoughts pass. They're not important right now. The main thing is we just want to focus on the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. So that was 5 minutes of breathing. How do we feel? Hopefully at peace, tranquil, serenity. I'm just throwing out words now. Okay. Now bring out a journal, piece of paper, or if you're on the computer, or if you're on your phone, or if you're just thinking. The whole point is just to take these questions and think more about them. Just give intentional thought towards it, starting with, what are we grateful for? It's my favorite question, because it really frames the mind of like where we want to be and the outlook. Gives us more of a positive filter to view whatever's coming up in a positive light, or in a empowered light. Lately, I've been really grateful and really, really taking the time to reflect on this creative retreat that I've been on. I moved from Chicago to rural Wisconsin, and I'm now really seeing the impact that it's had. In a number of ways, but if we're talking in terms of creativity, I've released 41 albums and 35 books. No, 30 books. 35 is the total. Not bad. But I'm really seeing the impact it's had, and just being present, being grateful. Just how it's shifted my mindset. It's really interesting. I woke up at 3:42 this morning. And I was energized to go. The difference is sometimes when I wake up really early, I check my spine. How physically, how much more physically healed do I need to be before I get up? Because that kind of lingers. When I get up, I can tell my body's off. But it felt like my body wasn't going to be off if I got up early. So I got up. Nothing like writing by candlelight, because it's dark outside. Lighting some incense reminds me of a year ago I was writing a novel. I wrote a novel. What's that moment for you? What's a feeling you get of really being present and being invigorated by, whether it's the time of day or the environment that you're in? What's something where you just think in yourself, yes, I love this? I use this time to really get clear on something that's been on my mind. There's something I need to complete before I can do all these other things. And it's been on my mind, but I haven't taken the effort and time, the intentional time, to just like sit down and think about it. So that's what I did. And it's so remarkable what just clarity does. Clarity just simplifies everything. It's like the parting of the Red Sea. It's like, yes. And it's crazy too to like do that. And then I did some other stuff that I got done. It's amazing. Before like 9 a.m., the amount of stuff you can get done. I'm on bonus time right now. You know, it's just like, it's all good. What's something really important for the overall, like what you're working towards, that if we got clearer on it, it would just help everything? Okay, this next question, it's probably more of a personal thing, but maybe other people are experiencing it. What are our observations with caffeine? This is something on my mind. I feel like there's like an in-between. Last weekend, I used ChatGPT to break down the caffeine habits of like great people in history. And it's interesting how it kind of splits from, go to this one folder, let's see. It goes from like builders and visionaries. So the builders, kind of like philosophers, writers, are very caffeine heavy. But the visionaries that really emphasize clarity do caffeine less or not at all. Let me break down. I have this random thread that's just literally called Random General. I was looking up Izzy Miyake because I wear that cologne. Cologne designed by him. Okay. Be great to get a drinking habits. David Ogilvy, I was looking up information on him, his habits. Balanced hedonism. I think that's what I was going for. Okay. Okay, so caffeine devotees, the stimulated minds. These are the high output, analytical, and often nocturnal creators, people whose brilliance thrived on structured energy and rapid mental firing. Voltaire, yeah, this dude is known for downing like gallons of coffee. Bach loved coffee. Beethoven, big coffee guy. Ben Franklin, big coffee guy. Picasso, coffee and cigarettes. It was this Jean-Paul Sartre, heavy coffee and amphetamines. So this is going into like a variety of habits. Ernest Hemingway, coffee before writing, alcohol after. I think it was like before though. Simone de Beauvoir, constant coffee drinker. Thomas Edison, Teddy Roosevelt, Richard Feynman, J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, Frida Kahlo, Franz Kafka. Now these are, okay, so that's one group. These are the abstaining from caffeine, or very minimal. These thinkers prized calm awareness, intuition, or inner purity. Many sought transcendence beyond stimulation. So you have Siddhartha, Buddha, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Carl Jung, Gandhi, Steve Jobs, Bruce Lee, Eckhart Tolle, Naval Ravikant, Phil Jackson. So that's a good list. Then we have the moderate people: Nietzsche, Virginia Woolf, Alan Watts, Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, Obama, Rick Rubin. Writers and philosophers: caffeine as a creative accelerant. Spiritual and visionary types: avoid stimulants to preserve presence. And then you have the moderate innovators. So long-winded way to say, where do you fall at that? If you don't, like, I don't know. There's no right or wrong answer. That's the thing about everything we do is it's your life and you're free to choose how you want to live it. That's why it's important to understand what you know, visualizing how you want to live it. We're out in the fields. It's harvest season on the farm. We had a breakdown, so I just got a text about it. Yeah, I haven't done a rich reflection in a little bit. I tried doing one on the combine, but the suction cup that would hold the phone, it kept falling. So I'd be recording it. I was doing these, and I think there's just too much dust that it doesn't really stick to the window. And after a few tries, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to use this time to just relax and learn. Planting and harvest season is when I really do a deep dive with audio, music, and like podcasts, sometimes audiobooks. What's our audio habits? You know, like really, let's think about this right now. Like, are there times of the year where you are really dedicated towards it? Like myself in a way. Outside of this, I rarely listen to podcasts. And I prefer like evergreen kind of content. Music. Go through an entire discography. Yeah. So what's our consumption of audio like throughout the year? I recently gave up listening to podcasts to fall asleep to at night. I've been doing no screen. It's probably like 2 months now. No screens or audio. like an hour before bed. And I'm trying to really like hone in on my dreams. I had this wild one the other night. I can't remember details, but I just took notes on it. It's the most interesting dream I've had in months. I was on the run. Somewhere in the notes it said, they tried feeding me to lions. Let's piggyback off of that and ask what our dreams have been like lately. And do you find meaning in those? And if so, like what does that mean? You know, like what's your interpretation of it? Before the modern era, dreams were a big thing, weren't they? A lot of mythology with dreams. I'm reading The Hero with 1,000 Faces right now. I have 2 copies of that book. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT knows me quite well. You know, based on everything that we've done together and you know of me, what are 3 books you recommend me to expand my perspective and that it will be helpful for me? And it recommended The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. I already had 2 copies of that. I have I think Oriental Mythology, another book by him. The Phenomenon of Man by like Chardin. I know that I had that book. I've been looking for it. I think I might have gave it away. I think I might have put it in one of those book libraries. It was this old copy, or like really neat looking, vintage, because it was worn. It was an old book. I really liked the title and the cover. That's why I got it. I must have got it at a thrift store or something. But I checked everywhere in my books. I have books in the farmhouse. I have books in the office. I have books in the barn. I have totes of books in the barn. And 2 nights ago, I went through them all and I couldn't find it. So it's interesting to know, like, I already had 2 of the 3 books that ChatGPT recommended me. Hadn't read them because I felt like I know the gist of The Hero with 1,000 Faces. But I thought, I've been reading it, I'm like halfway through. I thought it'd be beneficial to just like see what else I can pull from it, because I think it could be really influential in that way. The third one, it'll take me a minute. What are 3 books that you think would expand your perspective right now and be helpful towards you? Whether you have those books right now or you've heard of them, just take a moment and think about that. Books aren't the end-all be-all, but they're a very straightforward way to pursue curiosity and learn, improve life, like expand perspective, right? Yeah, The Phenomenon of Man, Pierre... Oh, man, I'm not going to get this right. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, Jesuit priest, I believe. Okay, this was the 3rd one that was recommended. Gödel, Escher, Bach, An Eternal Golden braid. This one, I think it would be interesting. Whoa, it's 824 pages? Jesus Christ. Oh, it won a Pulitzer Prize. A metaphorical figure on minds and machines in the spirit of Lewis Carroll. Wait. Okay. This book is concerned directly with the nature of maps or links between formal systems. However, according to the author, the formal system that underlies all mental activity transcends the system that supports it. If life can grow outside of the formal chemical substrate of the cell, if consciousness can emerge from out of the formal system of firing neurons, then so too will computers attain human intelligence. Oh, interesting. It's a wonderful exploration of fascinating ideas at the heart of cognitive science, meaning, reduction, recursion, and much more. 824 pages, wow. It's a lot. Let's see some of the reviews. Number 1 in mathematics history. Oh, dang. Number 2 in mathematical logic. I've never heard of this book before. It's in the top 5,000 of books overall. It's pretty good. 2,500 customer reviews. 4.7 out of 5. That's pretty high. Number 1 review from 2009, reconciling the software of the brain with the hardware of... reconciling the software of the mind with the hardware of the brain. This book is intense, like any other philosophical book. This is one of the great modern books for thoughtful people. Amazing, insightful, magical. All right, I'm going to buy it. It's been in my list. The only thing is I don't like the cover. I hate these covers. Hardcover is $352. It is amazing. For $13, I could just dramatically expand my perspective. It's such a valuable thing. It's gonna get here tomorrow. What a crazy world. Sorry about that. Now I'm really energized. I'm really energized to read this book. What are you energized for? Usually I like asking that question at the end of these reflections, but I'm energized right now. I asked another one too, like, what's the most, based on what you know of me, what are 3 most practical to read? And ChatGPT recommended Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, The Creative Act, Rick Rubin, and there's another one. I've read both those two. Meditations. I read the Daily Stoic quite a bit. Ryan Holiday. This is a really good book. I've been reading it since 2018. I have stopped a little bit. I've pulled back from Stoicism a little bit. I don't think you can maximize joy by like really following Stoicism by the book. I have practiced Stoicism by the book, and you become a machine, but the cost is that you can become really miserable. So I think it's helpful to find a balance. And the Tao Te Ching, I would read this along with it. I have 2 different versions here. I love this book. These books, yeah. I think the issue, it's great for defense. And I'm focused right now on playing more offense. Like more... Like Stoicism is a lot about acceptance, right? And kind of like being objective with things and seeing things as they are. And Tao Te Ching is kind of like flowing, reacting. But it's, neither of them are really like, let's go score points. Let's put points on the board. It's really like incredible defense. And growing up, I've always been more offensive-minded and creative that way. I always loved playing offense more. So I'm like kind of adjusting my philosophy and habits and practices now to align more with offense, but still maintaining a very prolific defense. So what kind of habits, what kind of thoughts have you been practicing lately? You want to see another book I have over here? Cosmic Consciousness. A study in the evolution of the human mind. Richard Maurice Buck. It's been a little dusty. I keep it here. It's intense stuff. I love this stuff. This is what I read for fun. This is what I like. I love. Here's Gautama, the Buddha. Is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. The inner illumination by which we can ultimately see things as they are, beholding all creation, the animals, the angels, the plants, the figures of our friends, and all the ranks and races of humankind in their true being and order. My guy. I'm not collecting my knowledge from letters and books, but I have it within my own self, because heaven and earth, with all their inhabitants, and moreover God himself, is in man. I agree with that. Everything is inside us. And so while we're talking about books, there's wisdom and knowledge in just, like we practiced before, like just breathing, sitting still. And with all these things around us, our phones and screens, can be so distracting and addicting. But if you're able to really harness the power and discipline of just sitting still, relaxing, breathing, it's going to be such a big benefit. Let's close this session out with the question: how are we going to pursue curiosity in the next week? Yeah, that's something I'm trying to focus a little bit more on, is pursuing my curiosity, specifically through books. I've been making a lot of books, writing a lot, designing books, publishing them, but I do feel like this kind of like void a little bit of curiosity, and so lately I've been really leaning into that. I think it makes life more fun and enjoyable, adventurous. Explore our curiosity. So on that note, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. It's good to be with other people that want to, want more out of life. Want to realize their potential, want to live free. And it's cool that you're taking the time to do that for yourself. Let's get more people to do it. All right. Have a great week. Inspire the future.